What's up, everyone? It's Justin. Good to see you guys. Happy Friday. Hope you're excited for the weekend. It's just me today. No interview today. I know I've had a couple interviews over the last couple weeks, which have been a blast. But I am excited to be back at you solo, answering your questions. I'm back on Instagram Live. What's up, Ophelia? What's up, Voice and Love, Jinners, Rosie DePomsky? What's going on? Say hey in the chat. I have a couple cool things to talk about today. And I also, so I thought it would also be fun to audit some of your social media platforms today, because I'm gearing up for a workshop that I'm going to be putting on all about what I call a brand attraction audit. And so one of the things I love to do is just like kind of just test and learn. I've done hundreds of these audits over the last like 6 months or so, but I want to get like real-time engagement and feedback from you guys, because the live workshop that I'm going to put out is going to be over Zoom. And so I thought it would just be fun to do that today. I've done that on a live before in the past also, but I think that would be really fun. So yeah, let me know in the chat where you're watching from. Let me know on Instagram Live. I know I haven't been on Instagram Live in a little bit. What's up, Ophelia? So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was that I have been doing like outreach to influencers for a very large brand campaign right now. So I've mentioned in the past that, I run an influencer agency called Trending Family. And, we're working on a campaign for the fall right now. And, I've reached out to probably around 50 influencers for this particular campaign. And I have definitely observed some things that are, I would say, deficiencies in terms of how influencers are handling these emails that we're sending out. And so I wanted to just give a few tips. Hey, what's up, June? Thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to give a few tips related to that because, oftentimes the way in which you interface with a brand right off the bat speaks volumes about how the partnership is going to, end up, right? How seamless it's going to be. So, hey, what's up, Rachel? Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so here's a couple observations that I wanted to talk about. So, first and foremost, responsiveness, right? I tweeted this the other day, but like replying within a couple hours of getting an inquiry is absolutely critical because, and in fact, I actually think it's highly correlated, like how quickly you respond is highly correlated with how seamless the partnership is going to be, right? Because if you're taking multiple days to hear back, oftentimes like the way these things work when an agency or a brand reaches out to you for a campaign, they have gotten the green light to do that campaign. So, reaching out to talent, to influencers, to find, who would be a good partner for that campaign is, the campaign has kind of been fully baked at that point for the most part, right? So they have oftentimes figured out the creative direction. They figure out, how many influencers they're going to be partnering with. They figured out what the budget is going to be like. And so now when they're at the point of reaching out to you, most often there's, they're pretty far down the path of like doing the partnership, right? And so the creators that actually respond quickly and are communicative and responsive and professional, those are that's going to bode very well for the partnership, and they're going to be more willing to potentially negotiate with you too, because if they identify that you'd be a good potential partner, they may be willing to pay a premium for folks who are responsive, especially if it's an agency and they know that the brand, there may be a lot more moving pieces in that campaign. Maybe they have to send you product, and there may be some feedback and edits that are necessary, and then if they just kind of discern that you're going to be a good partner to work with based on those initial interactions, that's very, very critical, right? So I know that like responding to email within just a couple hours can be, onerous sometimes, especially if you have a 9-to-5 job, you're not able to like be like, responsive to your personal email all the time. There's a couple things that you can do. So first and foremost, you can set alerts. Like, let's say you have Gmail, you can set alerts in Gmail for certain keywords, right? So like the keyword sponsorship or the keyword partnership or the keyword collaboration or the keyword paid or things like this, right? Or your username, right? Your handle on Instagram, your handle on YouTube, your handle on TikTok, whatever. And then you set that as like a filter. If you go into settings and then filters, you can actually like, select what keywords you want to be notified about, right? To get alerts, whether it's push on your app, on your phone, or on desktop notification or something like that. So that could be something interesting. If you're a little bit more of an established creator, potentially considering hiring a part-time virtual assistant, a part-time VA to actually do triage for your inbox, right? Like let's break it down, right? Let's say that you pay a virtual assistant, part-time virtual assistant, potentially in another country or even, in your country, 10, 15 bucks an hour, which you can absolutely get them for that. Like that's their sole job, right? So let's say that you're paying them part-time, I don't know, 10 hours. It's hard because if you want them to like be monitoring your inbox, maybe it's like you pay them a couple hours a day and they check in your inbox multiple times throughout the day. So once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the, near the end of the day. Let's say that's like 30 minutes they do check-ins. That's their job, right? And that's literally $15 to $20. If it's like 30 minutes or maybe it's 20 minutes per time, that adds up to 3 times 20 minutes each, adds up to an hour, right? That's $15, right? And whenever an opportunity, let's say there's an opportunity that lands in your inbox and they were able to flag that and immediately text message you or send you a message and be like, hey, you need to like respond to this. Or even they respond with it with like a template that you design with them. That's very powerful, right? And that, I hope illustrates like a very good ROI. Again, if you like acknowledge that, you're not going to be able to like, respond to your emails quickly, that might be something to look into. So again, responsiveness, in my experience, how quickly influencers or creators respond to inquiries for a brand opportunity is very highly correlated with how well the partnership is going to go. Let me dive into the chat here. Ophelia says, I have to get better at responding ASAP. Yeah. Hey, baby, my boo, April Athena 7's in here. Hey, honey. Have you and families partner with golf companies? Hey, what's up, golfing with you? With golf companies. No, we've never partnered with a golf company in the past. However, sports and golf in general is a very family friendly thing. So, I don't see why that couldn't be a possibility. I'm curious if you've ever done like cold outreach, golfing with you, let me know. But yeah, so that's number one is responsiveness. Hey, what's up, D? What's up, Fernanda? Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so number two, answer every single question that the brand or the agency has. So now one thing that I've observed doing this outreach over the last week is that people are not answering the questions that I'm asking them, that we're asking them, when we're doing outreach. What's up, Oliver? Man, long time. Oliver says, yeah, I totally agreed. Reacting quickly is definitely a positive signal to brand. Exactly. So answering every single question is absolutely critical. So whether they're asking you things like, so for this campaign, what I'm asking is like, what is the age of your kids, or where do you live? Or especially, do you have any affinity for the brand or for the product, right? Tell them and link them to a piece of organic content where you have already talked about the brand, right? Because if they're putting together a deck or a presentation to the brand of like who they think are going to be the best fits for the partnership, the creators that go the extra effort and like link a piece of organic content that you made. Like here's the thing, like, every creator knows that they may have, done a brand deal, or I mean, not a brand deal. They have posted about that brand 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It's very difficult for me to know. Like YouTube, it's maybe a little bit easier because I can search the name of the brand. Let's say it's like Disney or something. I can search the name Disney in your YouTube channel. And if you've talked about Disney in the past, it'll, hopefully pull it up in the description or the title of the video. But on Instagram or TikTok or a live stream or something like that, that's archived, I don't know. I wouldn't have known that, right? So if you can share that with us, with my team, that's incredibly helpful because it saves time. If we're doing outreach to 50, 100 influencers, and you can just like take 2 seconds and go and search and link me the post, man, that instantly makes my life easier. It makes our life easier as an agency to be able to like put you, feature you at the front of the presentation to be like, hey, we think that these are the top 5 influencers that we really think are going to be good for the campaign. So the other thing too is that, answering every question that they're that they're asking in those outreach emails shows that you have attention to detail. Right. And like Oliver said, it's a good signal to the brand that you are going to be potentially be a really good partner. What's up, Fiorella Cook, Nicolette Supin, Official Stormy? What's going on? Thanks for tuning in on Instagram. Yeah. So that's number 2. So first, responsiveness. Number 2 is answer every single question that the brand of the agency has. And number 3, this is I want to talk about this because and if you have a manager, make sure that you have some sort of agreement with them in place about how quickly they're going to respond. I know a lot of creators and a lot of influencers have asked me this over the last like number of months, is like, okay, if I want to get a manager, how do I go about doing that? But this is not something that we talk about like a lot, which is that like you need to have some sort of like service level agreement, which it's called in business, like a service level agreement of like, okay, if I hire you to be my manager, you are committing to respond to any new brand opportunity within 3 hours or within 6 hours or whatever, at the very least within 24 hours, right? Because you would be surprised at how many, like it's been very clear that, in the business inquiries, like field on Instagram or on YouTube or wherever, that it's like a business, like a management email address, right? The manager's company or whatever. It's like your name, influencer's name at managerswebsite.com or whatever. You would be surprised at how many we still haven't heard back from. And we emailed them 5 days ago, right? Like that's crazy, right? You think that you would hire a manager to like handle that kind of thing for you, right? But I can't tell you how many times this has happened where we literally will just never hear back from a manager on what could potentially be a very lucrative brand partnership for an influencer. Yeah, okay, maybe they have a good reason. Maybe they're like locked into exclusivity with a competitive brand and that's why they don't email. But at the very least, your manager should still respond and say, sorry, we're exclusive to this other brand. We're not going to be able to like, we're not going to be able to do this time, right? But to not respond at all, in my opinion, if you're managing a creator, is absolutely not acceptable. So, and another like thing that I've observed is that, we've actually emailed a creator directly, and then they respond and say like, oh, thank you so much. We're so interested in this opportunity. I'm CCing my manager, and they're going to respond to you. And the manager doesn't respond for days. And I think to myself, like, holy cow, like that's even worse because the creator was tagged on that, or the creator initiated that email, tagged their brand or tagged their manager, and the manager hasn't responded in a couple of days. So like, that's just like not acceptable in my opinion. I always like recommend having that conversation. If you are going to get a manager, have that conversation with them at the outset of like what the mutual understanding of how quickly they're going to respond to opportunities. Because like we talked about in point number 1, if you don't have the ability to like keep track of all the, keep an eye on your inbox, that's one of the reasons that you're going to hire a manager, because they're going to do that for you. And if they're not doing that, if they're not being responsive to your email for your brand deal opportunities, that's just unacceptable in my opinion. So, I just wanted to note that. Hey, what's up, Keto Twins? Emily, thanks for tuning in. Yeah. So let me know. Ophelia says in the Instagram chat, I wonder if I need a manager. Golf and Jew said, do you have a YouTube channel to be a brand influencer, or is Instagram? Oh, do you have to have a YouTube channel to be an influencer, or is Instagram enough? That's a great question. So before I answer this question, if you want me to audit your social platform right now, right after this, drop your URL to your handle in the chat, whether it's on Instagram or whether it's on YouTube or wherever you're watching me. Drop it in there, and I will do that. But I'm going to answer this question first, and I'll get a queue going of people who want me to analyze it. Forgive me if I'm going to be taking like a couple like drinks right now, because I just started working out with a new trainer. And he like absolutely destroyed me this morning. So I'm like a little lightheaded, honestly, because I can't remember the last time I did a workout that hard. It was leg day. So I'm like obliterated right now. I feel like jelly or jello. Okay. So Golfing with You had a good question, which is, do you have to have a YouTube channel to be a brand influencer, or is Instagram enough? So in my opinion, it's heavily dependent on the content vertical. So like, for example, it depends on the types of brand partners that you want to work with and how they value like different types of content. So Instagram is a very different type of content medium than YouTube. YouTube is long form video content, right? So the types of brands that in my experience value YouTube are ones that value video content, right? So if there's an object, if their product or their service or something is something that it's much easier to explain it on video, then like a platform like YouTube would be very critical for them to, partner with creators on there or to run ads on YouTube and things like that. Because there are just, certain times, like I'm trying to think of like a good object. Like, so this is not a good example, but like this is the remote to my lights, right? This is kind of easy to understand. But if it's a product that it's like, really hard to explain unless you can like manipulate it in 3 dimensions and kind of like explain like how it works and show like a tutorial or something like that. Like this might be something easy to like hold up in an Instagram photo and it's like very clear the value proposition of the product. But if it's a like, I don't know, this is like, again, these are like terrible examples because I'm not prepared for this, but this is my Canon G7X camera and I have it plugged in because sometimes I live stream with it. This would be a product that probably you need to like showcase via video, right? And so you have a long form video, you talk about the features and the benefits, you show footage of the camera, things like that. So a tech YouTuber, for example, or a tech influencer, oftentimes YouTube would be something that, they would want to lean heavily into because of the fact that, people are, if they're looking to purchase a camera, consumers go to YouTube to look for reviews or testimonials of the product, right? The other thing that YouTube allows for is evergreen content, right? So, YouTube is the world's largest search engine, right? So oftentimes if people are looking to do something or look for a review, they will go to YouTube rather than Google and they'll go type in blah, 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 blah. They'll type in the product name, right? So that's very powerful. So if it's a brand or a product that lends itself to, people before they, especially if it's an expensive product, $500, $1,000, $200, whatever, people are going to qualify that purchase before they do it, right? So they're actually going to go search out other people talking about the product before they review it. So again, like I know Golfing with Jew, it seems like you do golf stuff, right? So in golf, I would imagine golf clubs can be very expensive. Right. So before a golfer will go to purchase a set of golf clubs, they might go to YouTube to go see who's talking about that product. So I wouldn't necessarily think that like Instagram would be the first place that I would go to like, look for testimonials or reviews about high-end golf clubs or something like that, right? Or like you're reviewing pros and cons, you're comparing like, different brands that are in the same price bracket or something like that, right? So again, like I said, it's very dependent. Like if you want brand partnerships as an influencer to be a big part of your business as a creator, you really do need to think about the types of brands that you want to partner with and think about, okay, their products, like where do I see them? Where are they already like partnering with influencers? Where are they already advertising heavily? If it's a brand that is already advertising heavily with other creators on Instagram or wherever platform you're at, that's a good sign. Maybe you can just go all in on that platform. But if you're like going all in on Instagram, but they don't really even have a presence on Instagram, or they're not partnering with any other creators on Instagram, it doesn't mean that they won't or don't see the value there. It just means that they might not have yet seen the value. And they're actually like, they're going real gung-ho on like YouTube or something or another platform. You should take that as an indication that they see the value in that other platform. And so building up a presence on that other platform might be smart. Actually, Fernanda, I know we were talking about this in our course and like some of my private Facebook group chats about the fact that you have a big YouTube presence, but not as big of an Instagram presence. And maybe that's something that you need to build up more because you're kind of in the fashion niche, and that, a lot of brands are like, all in on Instagram for that. So that's another good example of kind of, I think, what you're talking about, Golfing with You, about that, right? So hopefully that's helpful. Let me scroll over here. Yeah, yes, true. Real quickly, Oliver has some cool things to say about, we were just talking about like emails and struggling to manage that. Oliver says, if you struggle with brand emails and the topics that you have spoken about previously, I recommend that you create a profile to Hubspot, which is a free CRM, and you can sync it with your email. HubSpot will automatically log all of your emails, inbound and outbound, so that you can always go back to what has been talked about. It also shows you if and when the brand opens your emails, and it's a great tool for sales. Oliver is getting next level here, right? So that's super interesting, right? So if you want to get more intentional and purposeful about the brand outreach that you're doing, about the emails that are coming in, and the out, especially if you're doing cold pitching and things like that, potentially using a CRM like HubSpot might be interesting. And the tool I use is Monday. That's another tool that I like to use for CRM. That is a paid one. But just wanted to, I think that's a really great, thing to mention, Oliver. Yeah. Fernanda said in the chat, Girls Guide to the Drugstore and I were talking about that last night. Exactly. Really thinking about, okay, like if brand partnerships are going to be a meaningful part of our business, what platforms do we need to be? Maybe it's going to be 2 that we need to focus on, like Instagram and YouTube or TikTok or whatever it is. So that's absolutely critical for sure. Hey, Melissa, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Let's see here. Best camera and some must-have. Oh, let me... Ophelia. Okay, Ophelia, I don't know. Is this your YouTube channel? Oh, YouTube is new to me. I'd love to know where and how to start. Best camera and some must-haves to start YouTube. I can't click. Let me see if I can. I'm assuming this is your YouTube channel. Can you tell me? Like, let me know in the chat. Is that your YouTube channel? Because I'm just going to go search for it right now. Because I think if I click, I'm just going to click it. What's going to happen here? Oh no, I can't click it. It's saying just reply to Ophelia. So on Instagram, if you leave a link to your channel, I can't see it. So I'm just going to go to, I'm going to type in, I think this is your Tally Up YouTube channel, assuming, right? Tell me in the chat. Is that your Tally Up YouTube channel? Because there's no name. Yes. YouTube link. Okay, cool. Okay. I'm going to pull up your Tally Up. Oh no, that's not you. Ophelia Tally Up. I'm going to try and find you. Can you tell me what the name of your YouTube channel is? Because I can't find it. I'm not sure of the name. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know why, but I can't find the name of your channel, or I can't find your YouTube channel because I can't see it. So maybe you can like link it in maybe go over to my YouTube live chat and drop your link of your channel in there or something. Sorry about that. I don't know why. On Instagram, like if you tell me if you want me to look at your the tallies. Okay, let me see here. Let's see. The tallies. No, that's not you. Weird. I don't know why I can't find you. Maybe if I go to your Instagram, do you link it in your bio in Instagram? I really want to do you because I know you're starting out. And Ophelia, I'm going to try and make this happen. Maybe you link it in your link in bio or something. I'm just going to try Tally Up Instagram. Here we go. Let's see. This is your social link in bio thing, I think. I don't see your YouTube channel in here. You're killing me. Come on. You're so funny. Anyways, let me know. Go if you can go on to my YouTube live chat. Let me know and drop your link to your channel. Then I can find it that way. Okay. So question here. Sweet Melly Bakery, Melissa said, Justin is amazing. Y'all, I got my first brand deal before finishing the class. He's that good. Thank you so much, Melissa. That's so amazing. I'm so glad that you were able to get that brand deal. That's so proud of you. That's awesome. And Fernanda, let me pull this up. Fernanda says, Aubrey gave me a smart tip. She said, focus 80% of your efforts on the platform that will bring the most revenue. So smart. Exactly. Yeah, that's a really great point. I think that is definitely accurate. But I will say one other thing, which is that sometimes if you see a very large opportunity on a platform that you're not yet able to fully monetize on it yet, it's still worth it. So for example, my wife and I are going absolutely all in on Amazon live streaming right now, or just live commerce in general. Amazon Live is where we've started doing it, obviously a lot. But in terms of the amount of money that we make on it on a monthly basis relative to our overall revenue mix as creators, it's still relatively small, but we're very bullish on the format in general. There's just so much interest in live commerce. It's been, extremely popular in Asia, for China and Japan for several years already, and I think it's just starting. Like the tidal wave is just starting to come in the West, and so. Again, we're not making a ton of money on it yet. I mean, we're still making money. We just got our first like brand partnership on a live stream on Amazon Live, which is super exciting. But in 12 months, we think it's going to like be a really big part of our business. And so, kind of that like first mover advantage, I think is meaningful. Right. And I think a lot of, TikTokers can also say the same, right? There was, before the TikTok Creator Fund existed, before brands were really meaningfully sponsoring creators on TikTok, a lot of people went really hard on it. And so I would say that, the exception to that rule, like for sure, generally you want to spend 80% of your time on like where you're finding most of your revenue. But if there is a platform or a type of content that you think is like really going to, be meaningful for your creator business, that could be an exception to the rule. So I just wanted to mention that, but I do think that that's a great tip. Okay, the tallies. Can you link your channel in here? I see you on YouTube now. But all I can do is, this is hilarious. What is going on here? I can't click your channel. I can only highlight your comment. This is so funny. The tallies. Link the URL of your channel, and then I think I can click it. I'm sorry. This is like throwing a wrench in my plans here. It's so funny. The tallies. YouTube. So interesting. Oh, okay. Okay. Tally TV. Is it called Tally TV? Okay, here we go. I'm going to try this. I think this is you. Let's do this. All right, let me share the screen. Oh, so funny. I know it took us a second to get here, but let's see if we can do this. Is this your channel, Ophelia? Is this your channel? Let me know in the chat. Oh my gosh. So family, lifestyle, travel. Okay, so yes, for now. Okay, awesome. So it seems like you've started doing YouTube Shorts. Is that like what you're trying initially? Like just posting like stuff that you've been posting on Reels or TikTok or something like that, and uploading them here. So like, question for you: are you like, I'm really curious, like what how because obviously YouTube just announced their $100 million Shorts fund for YouTube, which is big. Like, they're going like hard on trying to come for TikTok, and Snapchat obviously had the Discover program where they're, paying some creators $1 million a day distributed to a bunch of creators, or Spotlight program, whatever it's called. I'm curious, like, are you going to just make this a dedicated, Shorts channel? Or are you also planning on doing long form content like vlogs, or what type of content that you're doing here? So because of the fact that you're just starting, you have somewhat of a blank slate here, right? And so you really can be intentional about the type of content that you're going to be creating here. So what I would recommend is that rather than syndicating your content from your other platforms, which is obviously, that's smart. You can, you're repurposing it, right? And able to like see if you can get like distribution elsewhere. I would consider creating exclusive content that your subscribers or your followers, that your followers can only find on your YouTube channel, let's say. Okay, so Ophelia says in the chat, I want to create long form content. Okay, so the best way that I would recommend to do that, because I know you do have a significant following on Instagram, for example, I would start creating exclusive content that your followers can only find on your YouTube channels. And then you start promoting it and driving your followers over to your YouTube channel. So for example, if you post a reel on Instagram, or you post an in-feed video or an in-feed photo post about your top 5 mom hacks for the summer, or something, I'm just making something up, right? You can tease the first 2 on your Instagram, and then say at the end, for the next 3, click the link in my bio or swipe up to watch the full YouTube video. Right? So it's like a teaser on your first platform. And then they have to go watch the YouTube content to be able to like get the full list or something like that. The other thing that I would do is crowdsource the type of long form content that your followers want to see from you on Instagram. So you can announce, I have a YouTube channel. I'm so excited. What type of long form content do you want to see? Do a poll on Instagram stories or do an in-feed poll or something like that and say, leave a comment below about the types of stuff. And so start like, just keep a list in your notes app or something, or on Monday. I don't know if you like, on your CRM or your organization, tool that you're using. Ophelia was in my brand deal course. So we started talking about this a little bit in terms of how to organize your content strategy and things like that. I'm getting dizzy, y'all, man. I only ate like a little bit of oatmeal this morning. So, whew. So just start tracking. If there's like comment, I like to say like your DMs and your comment section is content fuel. It's fuel for your other platforms. And so YouTube is just different. It's a different animal. It's a different beast than other platforms. And so you do need to think about not only what type of content that your existing followers on other platforms want to see, but by virtue of YouTube being a long form platform, I know they're trying to like go short form with shorts, but in general, it's a long form platform. So people go to YouTube with the expectation of watching a 10-minute video or watching a 5-minute video, especially if you're doing like family vlogs or vlog type of content in general. And so being very purposeful about the type of content and ensuring that it can be evergreen. So yes, there's a place for like my summer 2021 must-haves or tips or favorites or whatever. But what is your niche on YouTube? Right? And what specific type of like lane are you going to choose? And what is the evergreen content that people are searching for? So maybe it's, like, I don't know, like where you live, but like maybe you want to choose to be like, let's say like you live in Michigan or something, like Michigan, like family trip ideas or something. I don't know. Like, what is your lane? Picking your lane and then researching that keyword in terms of search volume. There's some tools out there that you can use to really like own those keywords. And so when people are searching for that, they find your channel and it's going to be searchable forever. Right? On a like monthly and a quarterly and a yearly basis, they're finding you and you're being exposed to new audiences, not just people who follow you on Instagram. Because one thing that you're going to find, I would say, is that it's going to be, I think that you're going to find that it's a little difficult to transition your audience from other platforms over to YouTube, because people who may love following you on Instagram may not want to follow you on YouTube. They may just, casually like, your stuff on Instagram, right? And engage with you, but they're not the type of person to like sit around and watch a 10-minute video on YouTube or 5-minute video on YouTube. So don't be like, insulted by that. You just have to understand that like there's different types of people on different platforms, and they consume, there's different like user behavior, there's different follower behavior. So that's just the way it is. And you'll also find that you'll start building up an audience on YouTube that don't follow you on Instagram or don't care to follow you on Instagram or other platforms, right? So just go into it with that knowledge and that expectation that you'll start to have to like segment your audience in that way. The other like interim step that I would recommend, Ophelia, is starting an email list. Because, one of the things that happens is that, people they subscribe and they follow lots of different people on a lot of different platforms, right? And so like, you have to understand that owning their email address, owning that direct relationship with your followers is absolutely critical, right? Because then you can email them about the content that you post wherever you go, right? So if you're posting a new YouTube video, you can email them about it. If you post, or maybe you do a roundup on a weekly basis, right? And you send them a weekly email and you say, here's my latest YouTube video, or here's my latest Instagram post or whatever, right? So I would potentially consider like, before starting to like go all in on YouTube, or maybe it's something that you do in concert and at the same time, is you, really start to encourage people to join your email list with exclusive content. That's the perk, right? When you join my email list, you get emailed out this thing, right? And then you own the audience. So I would say that that's kind of the thing. So let's check back in a couple months or something like that, a couple weeks, when you start posting more content, you start doing this strategy in earnest, and we can kind of go from there. But overall, good. I wish you the best of luck. Oh, that's so funny. Emily in the chat said, take some electrolytes, Justin. Yeah, try LMNT electrolytes. Yeah, hashtag not sponsored. Yes, we have like a bunch of those liquid IV. Have you tried those? They send April all these like PR. So I actually probably like need to put some in my water because I'm like barely hanging on right now. Oh my goodness. Okay. What's up, Cat Cricket Design in Instagram? Laura Gold. What's up? Raising Rose Andre. Hello. Okay, Laura Gold in the Instagram chat is saying, if we're just starting off, let me pull this up. And before I do this question, by the way, it would mean so much to me if you could share that you're watching the live stream, because every time you guys share, every time I do a live stream, every time I do a live interview or something like that, I get so many followers from people in your network, in your audience, who also are creators and want to learn more about being business savvy as creators. So that, honestly, that would be, if I've ever helped you with anything, that would mean the most to me. And so I'm going to give you an opportunity. I'm going to do a crazy face right now so you can screenshot it. Here we go. Did you get it? That's my crazy face. So if you want to screenshot that, share that, tag me at Creator Wizard. Because, by the way, have I mentioned why I do the crazy face? I've talked about this before, but crazy faces have like a way higher click-through rate on YouTube and other platforms, because people just think like, why is that guy like making that face? Like, what is so surprising that I got to click through and like get the resolution? Because smiling, that's like the second to last expression on like a thumbnail or like a YouTube post or an Instagram photo or whatever. That's like the second to last most engaging like expression that people find interesting as humans. So yeah, that's why I do that. Fernanda said, waiting for April to come in with the electrolytes in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, for real, honey. Are you still watching this? I don't know if she's watching this. She's getting ready. April and I are having date night tonight, so I'm super excited about that. And so she might be like, I know it's early, but she might be like getting ready for that. Whew, my goodness. Okay, so Laura had a question in Instagram, which is, hey, what's up, Kate Hayes? Hey, Kate, I was just emailing with you. What's up? Angela Marie Osceola. Okay. Laura, if I can scroll back up to this. Laura said, if we're just starting off, should we do free reviews for brands that we really want to work with, or should you save your favorite companies once you have a big platform? So this is, hey, Mickey, what's up? So this is perhaps a controversial opinion and maybe not one shared by everyone, but when you're just starting out, I think you tag all of your favorite brands a lot. Right? You start talking about all your favorite brands for free. Right? And so this is not to say like when they're actually reaching out to you and like telling, like, gonna give you free product for like talking about them. This is what I mean is like, you just start talking about all your favorite brands that you love and tagging them in organic content. One creator that does this really, really well, that I want to give a special shout out to is Melissa. She just mentioned that she got like her first big brand partnership. And this is how she did it. She was tagging some of her favorite, but she's a food influencer. She makes amazing like desserts and things like that. So definitely follow her. She's Sweet Melly Bakery in Instagram or on Instagram. But she did, let me actually just pull up her page, because this is a great exercise. Because Sweet Melly Bakery, I think this is her handle. Here we go. Okay, let me share her screen real quick. So this is, let me go full screen here. So people on, actually, I'm just gonna do this. So you can see like how high quality her stuff is, looks amazing, looks delicious, right? And so she does an amazing job about tagging the brands that she uses in the recipes. right? And that has led to a bunch of brands reaching out to her about potential partnerships, right? So I'm a big fan in the beginning, when you're just starting out and trying to get on the radar of brands, of tagging them as much as you want. And basically, like, there's a way to do it where it doesn't feel sponsored. You just, like, maybe it's at the end when you're listing for her, she's a food influencer, like listing the ingredients list, or if you're a fashion influencer, tagging the clothes, or if you're a travel influencer, tagging the location that you're at, et cetera, et cetera. Because one thing I want to, like, get crystal clear, which is really, really important to understand, is that the reason that brands like pay creators to talk about them when they're doing campaigns is so that they can there's certain key messages and calls to action that they need to list for the campaign. So, let's say it's a summer campaign, go out to your nearest REI retailer, if if it's an REI campaign for outdoor products or something, camping equipment, tents, etc. They really want to encourage people to do that during the summer, right? And so the call to action is maybe going into your nearest retailer or going into the REI website. Maybe there's a promo, there's like a discount code or something like that. If you're an influencer, if you're a creator just talking about your authentic affinity, your authentic love for REI, you're not going to say any of that stuff, right? You're just going to say, I love REI. Right. And so there's a reason and a purpose, because they want to drive some sort of action, some sort of metric, some sort of conversion, some sort of result when they partner with influencers. Not only that, one of the other major key performance indicators, or KPIs, for paid influencer campaigns is being able to repurpose the content so that they can, let's say if you're a YouTuber, like cut down the YouTube content, the long YouTube video, into a 30-second video of the best sound bites, right? So they want to ensure that you're saying, REI is the greatest place to, like, get your, family tents or whatever. You get your outdoor boots, and head in, the summer 2021. There's, a special discount. Head into your local retailer today, right? There's only a certain amount of things that you can say in 30 seconds that they're going to use that as an ad on YouTube or on Instagram or on TikTok or whatever it is, right? So there's a reason that there's other reasons that they're hiring you beyond just leveraging your organic reach on your platform, right? So you have to understand that, like, it's, in my opinion, when you're just starting out, there's absolutely nothing wrong with tagging your favorite brands to get on their radar. Because the other thing too is that brands will absolutely pick influencers to work with for paid campaigns that have been posting about them authentically, because, like, it's so much easier to partner with a creator who already understands the benefits of your brand, already understands and it has like a alignment with what your brand is all about. Because, like, you have to understand, like, when you reach out to a creator and they've never heard of you, they've never like used your product, there's a certain amount of education that has to happen. And to be fair, like, that is a strategy for sure. Like, sometimes brands definitely want to partner with creators who have never worked with them because they're trying to expose their brand or their product to a new audience. That's definitely a tactic that brands will take on specific campaigns. But oftentimes they will want to work with creators who are already familiar with the product. So how are they going to find that creator? They use software that they pay for called social listening software, where they literally will like search out for people who have, like, said the name of the brand, said the name of the product, figure out who has, like, been tagging them in the last 6 months or something like that. They will prioritize, and then you can, like, filter, okay, like, what creators have, like, tagged our brand, talked about our product in the last 6 months. They can actually filter that with some of this software. So, like, understand, like, this stuff happens, right? Like, brands are actually actively doing this. So I want to be clear here, though. It's a very different story if they're reaching out to you asking for you to do a bunch of stuff for them for free, right? That's different, because in the first scenario, you're doing it of your own volition. But in the other scenario, they're actually requiring you, perhaps even, like, making you sign a contract that you have to do all these different deliverables just in return for a free product. So that's a very different story. Like, on the one hand, I'm okay in certain scenarios. Like, if you were already going to purchase it, especially if it was like an expensive product, like, let's say it's like a $500 product or $1,000 product or something, and they want to, like, give it to you for free and you're going to talk about it. Yeah, that's one thing. Like, I don't necessarily see anything wrong with that. But if it's a $20 product or a $50 product, it may not be worth it to do all this like big laundry list of things that they're asking of you. Right. So you really do need to like, think about whether this is going to be worth it. There is something to be said for getting experience, right? And like going through repetition of like understanding what it's going to be like working with a brand and like making sure that, yeah, maybe for the first couple ones, you're okay doing it for free because you would have purchased the product anyway. And then you gain, you over time, gain the experience of feeling confident to start charging for what you're worth. And a side note here, real quick, I'm going to be making an entire course just about this topic, which is how to transition from getting free product to getting paid for those partnerships. It's called Gifted to Paid. The website, if you want to like join the wait list, it's called giftedtopaid.com. And you can opt in and to be notified. I think it's going to be released in the next couple of months. I've just been like so busy doing so many different things. But this is one I'm really excited about because I know it's going to help out a lot of people. It's going to be all about this topic, about how to transition into those paid partnerships. And there's a lot of different things you can do. So I'm excited about that one if you guys are interested in that. So I have kind of, again, like this is maybe a controversial opinion, but I think when you're starting out, there's absolutely nothing wrong with like tagging, brands that you have authentic affinity for, authentic love for in the beginning, because that's how you get on their radar. So Laura, hopefully that was helpful. I'm not sure if you're still in the chat, but yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Okay. Let's dive back into the chat here. Yes, date night. I'm so excited. Yeah. Oh, Fernanda said, and Karen is amazing at this. Yeah. Karen is someone else who was in my Brand Deal Wizard course. And she's also amazing at this about, doing a bunch of amazing organic content, tagging brands, that she loves. She is I guess she would call herself a gray hair, influencer. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but she is like fully embraced going gray as a creator. And so she posts, she's like really picked a niche, really picked a lane. And she's seen like massive success doing that. You would think like, going gray, like, is that like embracing that like, that seems like a very narrow lane, but man, she's really owned it. And she's really, really great about about that. Yeah, and Coco in the chat said, yeah, about getting experience. That's a big, because let's face it, like, look at it this way. This is gonna be a really weird analogy, but like, when you're young and you are starting to date and you're starting to get experience in romantic relationships, right? Part of like dating is understanding, like starting to understand what you ultimately want in a life partner. Right? Because wouldn't it be the worst thing in the world if you met your dream partner, the person that you think is like your soulmate, and you completely screw it up because you just weren't mature enough to understand what you had? Right? Is that weird? I oftentimes like tell that to people, right? But like, little known fact, before this channel was helping creators, this was an advice channel. I was giving people just general life advice. And this is something I talked about often, which is like, I think there is value in like, dating different types of people to understand what you ultimately want in a partner. And I think it's the same with brand partnerships, right? So this is all coming full circle here. I think it's the same with brand partnerships, which is that like, dating, a certain number of brands and understanding what that whole process is like and understanding the types of brand partners that are best for your channel and your platform and your audience is important, because then when your dream brand comes along, you have a certain set of experiences so that you don't screw it up, right? And you can turn that dream brand relationship into something long-term. Right. So I am a big fan. I'm a big advocate of, getting repetitions so that you don't screw those important partnerships up. And in fact, I just released my latest video on my YouTube channel that I just released. I have it on IGTV as well, that I just released, is about what is better, a $10,000 brand deal or 10 $1,000 brand deals. You're probably asking like, okay, well, what's the difference? You're getting $10,000 in both scenarios, but there's actually pros and cons to each. And I asked my private Facebook community this question a couple weeks ago, and the answers were actually surprisingly diverse. And so I made a whole video about it. So if you want to like hear me talk all about this topic, I actually talk about this aspect of like getting experience with like 10 $1,000 brand deals and why that can actually be very advantageous. But there's other pros to like doing one deal too. So one $10,000 deal. So anyways, okay, let Devin Liu question. Hi, Justin. Thanks for sharing your perspective on this. Wondering what your thoughts are on brands giving your products on loan for content, giving you products on loan. So this is an interesting one. So you're actually meaning like maybe it's an expensive product and they actually want you to like send it back after you do the review or the testimonial. Is that what you're talking about? So this has actually happened a couple times for my wife and I. It was usually in a scenario where the product was very expensive. And there was legally a reason that they couldn't let us like keep the products. So we've done this a couple times. But one thing that we always like think about is like, okay, it's very important to us to like work with brands that we have an authentic, love for. And so oftentimes, like if that's, again, this has only happened a couple times, but like, oftentimes we will ensure that they're compensating us adequately enough so that if they do want us to like return the product, that we can go out and buy it ourselves out of the compensation that we've negotiated. So we, negotiate, let's say like it's another $1,000, another $2,000 onto the partnership so that we know we can go out and purchase the product, right? Because again, we want to continue to use it if we love it and, illustrate to our audience and our followers that we continue to love and use that product if we're going to be paid to talk about it, right? And so sometimes it's strange. Sometimes like brands' legal teams have like weird stuff like that. So they're totally willing to like give us extra money, like a stipend to go out and purchase the product for ourselves. But if they're sending us the product, we have to send it back to them, especially if it's like an expensive product, right? So I would say that that's kind of my opinion on that. So as long as they're like, if they're not compensating you though, and they're asking you to like do a review and they also want you to send the item back, I don't know. That seems like kind of a raw deal. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but D and Fam said, yes, I can vouch for gifted to paid. It works. Yes, D. Yes. Hopefully that some of the advice I've been giving you via DMs or in the chat and stuff like that, hopefully that helps. Oh man, Aubrey remembers advice from Justin. That was the name of this channel before I started doing creator advice called Creator Wizard. So man, Aubrey, you're an OG subscriber. That's some of you have asked me that actually. That's why I have like over 40,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Because, I only started making new content like for creators about a year ago, but I had like, I don't know, 500 videos and like, millions of views, before. And then I, took all those videos down. I privated them when I created this new channel because it was like a rebrand basically, right? So that was the name of my channel before, Advice from Justin. And oh my gosh, it was like so cringeworthy. Back in the day, I like insisted on having a different background, a different outdoor background for every video that I did. So like I would have like one like in my apartment complex, like in the courtyard. One, I like took the camera to this like area where you could see like the ocean and like literally, I don't know what was wrong with me. I was just like, I gotta have like a new background every time. And that was like exhausting finding new backgrounds for like 50 videos. I finally gave up on that. And I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. But yeah, that was the days. Maybe Aubrey's the only person who remembers that. Devin said about the sending items back. Glad to hear that's not a totally uncommon experience. It's the first time I've had this happen. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it. Of course, yeah, no, for sure. And D said, yes, I got paid because of your advice. I'm gonna frame this and hang it on my wall. This is every time someone tells me this, that they got paid because of my advice. I can't describe to you how fulfilling that is to me. Like just by virtue of like some advice that I was able to give you, some small negotiation tactic or language, like verbiage or lingo or something to say, a way in which to frame your value or your expertise as creators. I can't tell you how fulfilling that is to me. Honestly, that's like music to my ears. So boom. I hope you'll film a testimonial for me for my gifted to paid course. Will you do that for me? Because that would mean the world to me. My goodness, we only have a couple more minutes on the live. Can you believe it, y'all? Yeah, Sweet Melly Bakery says, same here, Aubrey. Yes. Yes, thank you, D. That would mean so much to me. And it's a good thing that I am like ending the live soon, because I legit am like so dizzy right now, y'all. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna eat right after this. Okay, Ophelia, here we go. Boom. Working on, hold on a second here. Let me pull this up. Working on my first 5-figure deal right now because of the recent class. Ophelia took my Brand Deal Wizard class, guys, and she's working on her first 5-figure deal. How does that feel? Tell me how that feels in the chat, Ophelia. From where you were like a couple months ago or something, did you ever think that you could be here, right, within this short amount of time? Because it's not like you've got tens of thousands or 50,000 more followers, right? A lot of creators think that that's the only way that they could get, start charging these like large amounts for brand partnerships. But no. What I teach in my Brand Deal Wizard course is that it's all about understanding the worth that you're bringing to brand partners, because it's not just about posting the content on your channels. We talked a little bit about paid advertising and things like that before, but understanding how to value yourself and most importantly, understanding what the goal of the campaign is for the brand. I walk through in my pricing and negotiation module in my week in my class about how understanding like exactly what they're trying to accomplish and what results they're trying to get, that can actually change the rates that you provide them 2, 3, 4, 5x for the same amount of deliverables, for the same post, for the same number of posts, same number of videos, whatever. So it really is. Ophelia says, it feels freaking amazing. No, I really didn't think I would be here this quickly. Real tears. Working on my testimonial right now. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Ophelia. That means so much to me. And if I'm like stumbling over my words right now, it's really because I'm dizzy, honestly. Ashley said, do you have a date for your June class yet? I will get that to you as soon as possible. I'm so sorry. I've just been absolutely inundated. The other reason too, that I haven't like figured it out is that now that my wife and I are vaccinated, we just got our second second shot 2 week ago. So we have one more week for the 14-day like period after the second dose. We are traveling, y'all. We are traveling. So we're trying to like figure out our like travel dates for the summer. So trying to like figure out when the class is going to be around that and everything too. So, yeah, so I will definitely let you know, Ashley. And you guys, Fernanda says, go eat. Yes. But yeah, and Ophelia said, yep, all of that, Justin, not a huge change in followers, but just knowing my value. Yeah, that really is what it comes down to at the end of the day. And Hello Adventure says, come to Oahu for a vacation. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hawaii is like our like happy place as a family. Honestly, like we absolutely love going to, it's been a while. April has never been to, and the kids, they've never been to Oahu. I went to Oahu once when I was like, young. I was like maybe a teenager. I can't remember the last time I went to Oahu. It was a long time ago, but yeah. Anyways, I'm going to go eat. I am like dying over here. And I'm going to like have like nuts or something or like some sort of like protein next time. We're just going to eat right before this to ensure that I like don't go like this. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I will definitely see you next week on Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you soon.